You don't have to be an expert on Venezuela to understand that there is something fishy going on in that continent. And you don't have to be a socialist to express solidarity with Venezuela. Now, what I mean by Venezuela is a sovereign and independent Venezuela. The same principles that urged me to be with my country, Syria, since 2011. I know this video could be controversial and that some of you could disagree with me, and I believe disagreement is a good thing, is a positive thing, and we have to discuss, and you can express your opinion as long as it is a respectable opinion in the comment section below, and we can discuss about it. In Venezuela, as far as I know, through the media, through reports, there is a big corruption there. Okay. In Syria in 2011, there was also a corruption in our country, a big corruption in our country. But when the United States decided to change the ruling system, political system in Syria, I stood with my government, because for me, neither the United States nor its allies are going to bring any kind of good to my country. They will bring neither a democracy nor human rights nor prosperity. What the Americans will do with Venezuela if they succeed in their coup d'etat, they will first steal the oil or force Venezuela to sell its oil again with dollars. The corruption is not going to just flee away. Look to Ukraine. What happened in Ukraine after the coup d'etat? Was the situation any better? Is the economic situation any better? Is the corruption any better? No, it's exactly the opposite. What happens after such coup d'etats is that the foreign countries who invested in such coup d'etats, they come and they steal your national resources, as they did in Iraq, as they did in Libya, as they are doing in many other countries, and they are doing right now in Syria, in the eastern shores of the Euphrates, and they give you a very little from that. I'm not here to make a philosophy out of it. You just have to be a man of your principle to understand that what's going on in Venezuela is a coup d'etat orchestrated by the United States in order to bring a right-wing, a very radical government, just like in Brazil, which will bring capitalism, a very extreme capitalism to the country, and the only people who will benefit from it are the economic elite, are the financial elite, not the poor people, not the working class. That's why the working class, those who understand at least what's going on in their country, they are now defending Maduro. In Syria, after the socialist Ba'athist party came to power in late 60s and early 70s, all these bourgeoisie classes, they were against the Ba'ath. Until this moment, many of the old traditional financial bourgeoisie elites, they are against the Ba'athist government in Syria because of that. And I understand their reaction, but what I don't understand is where normal people, normal Venezuelans, let's say, who have no millions, let's say, they are just normal people, and they are supporting this coup d'etat. My message is, you will not gain from this coup d'etat except first you will lose your sovereignty, you will lose your independence, you will be dependent on the American dictates and the American policies. Two, you will sell your oil in exchange for dollar to boost the American currency. Three, you will institutionalize the corruption. Corruption will be legal according to certain laws that they will introduce, and the working class, which is the majority of the people, they will be the biggest losers. Venezuela stood beside Syria, stood beside Palestine and many other just cases, and I believe Maduro and before him Chavez, on the foreign policy level, they were on the right path. But my message is still to Maduro and his circle that they have to really make a very harsh and big development projects. They should minimize the corruption level. They should minimize every single shortcoming in their own country that encourages the people to support Trump or the United States or this kind of upheavals and coup d'etats. This is only the thing that I say. We have to empower our society, we have to empower our domestic issues. We should not give the outside powers the excuse they need to intervene in our states. So my message to Maduro is, please fight corruption, please minimize this corruption, please make huge development projects, please help the working class more and more and more. You are one of the biggest oil rich countries. You should make your country and your own citizens live in a better standards, in a better measures, in a better conditions, and don't let the Americans find the excuse to intervene in your own country. The American democracy doesn't work in Venezuela, and we know what happened in our region and the sufferings and the consequences of that. And I really wish all the best to the Venezuelan people, and from my heart, deep inside, I express my solidarity with any political leader, whether it was Maduro or anyone else, who could preserve the sovereignty and the independence of the country. This is the 101 of any political affairs or political relations. But at the same time, as I mentioned, the Venezuelan government, they should make a lot of reforms, so that if they save themselves this time and the Americans weren't able to crumble the government there, it could happen after 1 year or 2 years again, and they can't survive again. So this was Kevork Almasian of Syriana Analysis, and see you next time.